I call Emily Darlington to make her maiden speech.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and can I welcome her to her role, and can I also say how fantastic it is to have an all-women Deputy Speaker team. Thank you for calling me in the debate around education and opportunity. In that, I would like to pay tribute to my great-grandmother, Emily Jones, who married Thomas, and she made sure that her 7 children could read, which started our family's journey from the mines of the Welsh valleys to her namesake standing here in the chamber today. Malala Yousafzai told us, "One child, one book, one pen can change the world." Can I also pay tribute to the other maiden speeches here in the House today? To my honourable friend from Derby South, great that you have Great British Railways, but if you come after Network Rail and Milton Keynes, we'll have words. And to my colleague, to my friend from Montgomeryshire and Glyndŵr, I know what it's like to have those strong Welsh women role models, and can I give my condolences, but I'm sure she would be so proud of you here today. And to my honourable member from Aylesbury, one of 5 Labour MPs representing Buckinghamshire now, and she shares a passion with me for international development. And finally, to the new MP from Monmouthshire, she can count me in on her ambition to get 50% of women into this, and I suggest we have our first meeting in Ask, where I was married. I'm the first MP for the new constituency of Milton Keynes Central. It encompasses half of Milton Keynes North and half of Milton Keynes South, and I'm sure that the new honourable members for both Milton Keynes North and Buckingham and Betchley will pay tribute to their predecessors, but I would like to wish Ben and Ian luck in their future and thank them for the collegiate way we've always interacted over the years. I would also like to pay tribute to the late Brian White and Phyllis Starkey, fantastic former Labour MPs for Milton Keynes, and to the late Kevin Wilson, the best MP Milton Keynes never had. Another former MP for my seat, who I have very little in common with, is Robert Maxwell. Except, in his maiden speech in 1964, he pleaded against the closure of the Oxford to Bletchley to Cambridge line, which we now know as East West Rail. And he was right. He also argued that science, research and technology is how the UK would become an economic success and how we would improve our NHS. He recognised the challenge of translating those discoveries into products and services, and that challenge remains today. And I wonder what he would think of this new town of Milton Keynes, which embraces innovation. We have robots that deliver our groceries. We're at the forefront of driverless technology. We're the heart of AI and regulation with the British Standard Institute based in my constituency. We're the home of the Open University, the vision of Harold Wilson and delivered by the fantastic Jenny Lee. First to do distance learning, at its heart, learning and opportunity for all, a true Labour institution. And Milton Keynes College, delivering those opportunities for young people, but also people, members of the House may not realise, delivering the biggest education to prisons across our country. It is innovation which has led to the economic success, but we've also been innovative in our approach to building our city. We are all pioneers. We have all chosen to live in Milton Keynes. We've moved from across the UK or from across the world to build a better life for our families and ourselves. As members may have realised, my mid-Atlantic accent, I too have moved around many times. And while I was born just across the river at St. Thomas's, I'm not sure if it's that way or that way, my father and I immigrated to Canada when I was young due to a lack of science funding in the UK. My summers were spent in South Wales learning my heritage and learning from the strong women in my family. I moved back 24 years ago to care for my gran, and she would be proud that I'm here. I now call Milton Keynes my home with my husband and 2 children. But perhaps it's the lack of history in Milton Keynes that allows us to embrace change. We are different by design. We are building a new kind of city. And as we deliver our manifesto commitment to build new towns, we from Milton Keynes have this advice. It is not just about homes and roundabouts and hospitals and schools. It's about communities and green spaces. It's about places of spirituality and worship. It's about places to gather, to celebrate, and to commemorate. It's about places to explore and exercise, and places to reflect and heal. And in Milton Keynes, from Campbell Park to the Milton Keynes Rose to the country's first ecumenical church that hosts the community iftar, Milton Keynes values those spaces. The cohesion of a city is based on its community, its culture, and its people. And it's done by design, not by happenstance. In Milton Keynes, we work hard to celebrate our city by celebrating our diversity. In just the past few weeks, I've had the pleasure to attend the African Diaspora Festival, Nelson Mandela Day, Art in the Park, organised by Islamic Arts and Culture, MK India Day, with 15,000 people attending, the Midsummer Festival, celebrating our pagan past, and the Tamil Sports Day. These events are open to all in that Milton Keynes spirit, bringing together people from all backgrounds to bind us as Milton Keynes citizens, to learn about the plurality of our ancestry and to celebrate the diversity of our patina, but bound by our British values, which encompass the ideals of democracy, rule of law, individual liberty, mutual respect, and, most of all, tolerance. A society is judged by how we treat our most vulnerable. Our children in care. And my right honourable friend earlier from Southampton spoke so passionately about his experience. The children with SEND and the growing issue of mental health, our refugees, our rough sleepers, our carers, our elderly, our young people at risk of knife crime, and all those who suffer from sexual violence and domestic abuse. The previous government presented these crises as consequences outside their control. But if that's true, why are we here? I am here because I've worked on all these issues in Milton Keynes with colleagues from the amazing City Council, delivering the only local authority to reduce rough sleeping in the past few years, that no one has to sleep rough in Milton Keynes. It is the first city to state its ambition to become a white ribbon city. More youth support to prevent knife crime, communities and parish councils and groups delivering food parcels, supporting our children in care with housing and employment, and new support for our heroes who are the unpaid carers. The right to have your end-of-life care in your own home, and the biggest retrofit and new build of council housing in a generation. But there are limits to what can be done locally, so I have made my way to Parliament to get the change that in Milton Keynes we both need and deserve. And on my journey here, I have found that the reputation of this place is at an all-time low. Even worse, it is a place that causes fear for some people because of the divisive language that can be used here and on the campaign trail. And when a country is divided, it makes it weaker. When arguments lead to violence, it makes our citizens scared. When the rights of one are played against the rights of others, it weakens all of our rights. When we focus on what divides us rather than what we have in common, we lose good MPs like David Amos and my friend Joe Cox. Yeah. So for all of us that seek to unite our country, let's focus on the united in the United Kingdom and the great in Great Britain. I am only the second Emily to ever be elected to this House, and like the first honourable member for Islington South and Finsbury, I will speak my mind. I want to end my speech with another Emily, Emily Davidson, who was never elected but did find herself in a closet in this House. We will be judged by the British people for our deeds, not our words. Thank you.